to Momentum in Real Estate, your guide to success in the dynamic world of real estate. I'm Cory.
And I'm Kristin James. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned pro, we're here to help you reach new heights.
Success in real estate comes from learning, growing, and serving others.
Join us as we dive into strategies for lead generation, marketing, market trends, and client relationships.
Get ready to ignite your momentum and achieve your goals in real estate.
Let's dive in and unlock your full potential.
This is Momentum in Real Estate.
Our guest today is Shayne Hollifield, the co-founder and broker in charge for the South Carolina office at Noble & Company Realty in Black Mountain, North Carolina. She co-founded Noble & Company in 2020 and is dual licensed in North Carolina and South Carolina. Her brokerage serves Western North Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina, including Lake Farm and Mountain Properties. Welcome to the Momentum in Real Estate podcast, Shayne.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.
We are so excited. And I just heard you're tri-licensed in Tennessee as well. So super excited to hear from you because we all live in Western North Carolina. So that's so smart of you to be able to like hop, especially places that we'll dig into that a little bit. But
yeah, we will.
Tell us a little bit about your real estate story in your own words.
Okay, well, to make a very long story short, I actually went back in probably 2011 and went to Columbia Control when they were over at Innsbrook Mall and took the course, but I was just not in the right mindset frame yet. You know, you have to be ready to jump into this. And so I actually took a job at Blue Ridge Assembly. I thought that was going to be where I retired, working for the Y, but that's not what happened. When 50 hit, I decided I'm going to quit my salary job and I'm going to go into real estate. So that was in 2017. I worked as an admin assistant to Mary Noble while I was going to school. I learned a lot of things. Like I actually knew everything about dot loop before I was even licensed. So I was ready to go. When I finally got through that state test, I had probably 5 or 6 people, 2 sellers in Black Mountain and a bunch of buyers waiting on me just to get those licensed. So I'd built it up a little bit before ready to go.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit of what was kind of motivating for you in starting a brokerage. I mean, that's a big decision to kind of go out on your own. Obviously with a partner, with someone that you knew and trusted. So tell us a little bit about kind of the story behind co-founding the brokerage, but then also I'd love to hear your input in terms of like, as you think about building a brand in different markets, like how do you guys think about that or how have you approached that?
Okay, yes. It sort of links the first question with this one, which makes sense. So I worked with Mary Noble for a couple of years, and basically I learned everything from her and the brokerage that we were with. They were big on education, but I really hit the ground running and didn't have time to utilize all of those things. And after a couple of years, I just felt like I needed to be in a different environment. And I told Mary Noble, I was like, I love you and I love working with you, but I'm leaving and I'm going to do something else. And I don't know what that is yet, but I'm going to do something in real estate. And she's like, oh, well, we'll leave together. And that's sort of how we created Noble and Company Realty. We're a lot alike and we're a lot different as well. And so it sort of works out that way to be a little bit different. But we have similarities in service to clients. And we never thought that we'd have anybody at Noble and Company besides her and I. We just, we started it, we thought that way. We're like, we're going to do our own thing. And that way, it's the way we want it. And that's sort of how the brokerage came about. And it was probably 3 weeks after we opened Noble and Company Realty, COVID hit. And I was like, oh, what a great time to start a brand new business,
Fantastic.
So we went out and videoed all of our listings, we did all the things, and it turned out to be a huge blessing. Like I feel like it's one of the biggest blessings we had starting our business because, as y'all both know, everybody from every other state wanted to move to Western North Carolina to work remotely. And so it sort of gave us a boost. And, we're still, this is year 5, and we are still putting systems in place and tweaking because those first probably 2 or 3 years were a blur. We were just busy doing things, and we've had agents come and go, and we have 6 total right now. I think that's a good number. I think 13 was probably too much for us because, we never thought it'd be anybody besides us. So I think that's probably gives you a little bit about the brokerage. And I am actually, from listening to your introduction, I need to update my bio, obviously, because I am the broker in charge in all states now. Just easier for one person to do it all. And we were recently licensed. I'm recently licensed in Tennessee, and I think we have another agent that's going to get hers as well. But that came about from actually not being able to find a really great referral partner in East Tennessee. And to be honest with you, my whole family is in upstate South Carolina, and I drive there a lot. I have a home there. That's sort of why I got those real estate license down in South Carolina to be able to utilize working and spending time with my family, which tells you that I'm a workaholic, and I admit it. But somebody has to. That's sort of what you have to be driven in real estate. So I feel like that's a plus. But going back to Tennessee, one of my very first clients that I had when I started my career in real estate, I've had 9 transactions with her, and she moved to Tennessee last year. And I had been thinking about the Tennessee license for a while. And when she moved, I said, before your house closes, I'm going to have Tennessee real estate license because I know you're not ready to stop yet buying homes. So that sort of pushed that in that direction.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. Shayne, you're like a powerhouse of a woman. I'm always like the mitochondria of this.
Well,
Oh.
thank you. I don't always feel like that, but I'm
Aw.
glad that you say that. That's very kind of you. To As far as our brand, we sort of really both love. Mary Noble grew up on a farm. They have a family farm. I grew up surrounded by 75 acres of cattle in upstate South Carolina. So it's just something that we love. Um, I recently lost my horse that I've had for over 20 years, and I feel like I don't have a farm life now because of that missing hole in my heart. But I'm planning on getting another one very soon, as soon as I
No.
can, and as soon as I can make time to do that and build a new barn and do some things. But so we have that common farm link, and that's sort of where our brand went in that direction. Of course, we do sell, we sell homes, we sell townhomes, we sell all the things, but I felt like that was what our passion was about, and so that's sort of where our brand has gone.
That is beautiful. Oh, I love that. And I'm sorry about your horse. There's just family. It's
I
awful.
know. And you know what? My husband was not as attached to this horse as I was, but he still says a year and a half later, he's like, I still look for her every time I pull up in the driveway. And it's you don't realize how used to, if it's a dog that lives inside, you're going to be heartbroken. But I was devastated when this horse left,
Yeah,
and they can't live forever.
I totally get it. I'm going to ask you a really fun question, but it might
Okay.
be tough. Okay.
Okay.
So, my question is, because we have an audience of realtors, we are I wanna get into, like, what do you feel like your biggest challenge has been, and, like, how you overcome it? And one of the big reasons I always feel like, you can teach people your experiences, people can get knowledge, but the wisdom really comes in when you combine those things, so if they can have both of those things from you, maybe they won't do it. So tell us
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit about your biggest challenge you've had in the last what has it been, 7 years?
Yeah, 7 or 8. I don't even know. They all run together. But yeah, so I feel like that's interesting because I don't even think of challenges. I just keep going. So
No,
I
that's
guess
good. That's
I'd
really
say
good.
okay, Here's the main thing that I've had recently because I was so gung ho and I've been running and running and trying to do all the things. I guess in the last year and a half, my challenge has been to learn how to not have to do everything, if that makes sense. And it doesn't sound like it's that hard, but when you're used to doing everything. And once you've been in business so long, and a lot of my business comes from repeat clients. And, in real estate, it's feast or famine sometimes, and it all happens at once. And I think I have a servant's heart. And so I feel like if I don't do things a certain way, then I'm not doing it properly. And so the last year and a half, I have tried to learn that yes, you can turn your phone off at 7 o'clock and it's okay. Just certain little things. I guess boundaries are what my biggest challenge has been, to sum
Yeah,
it up.
I'd love that's amazing, and I'd love to go even deeper. Like, what are some things that you've just maybe stopped doing so that you could really hone in on just fueling those client relationships and connections so that you are a trusted resource that they want to do business with again and again, both from like you as an agent, like what are things that you just kind of started to delegate or just stop doing altogether? And then also speak to like as a brokerage, like are there things that you guys have like either passed off or like paid for because you're like, you know what, we're not gonna like as an agent, I'm not gonna like worry about whether it's social media content or, just things like that. Like what are some things that you've delegated or just stopped doing altogether?
Yes, well, the social media is one of those. We have a person that for the firm does our social media, and she has done that pretty much since we opened Noble and Company. She was actually one of my first listings. Her and her mom were my very first two Black Mountain listings, and I've known her for a long time. And so she sort of has helped us along the way, but we just let go of the reins and let her. She does a lot of our marketing. She is very involved in our brand, so she has helped us grow our brand. And so that was something from the get go that I realized I don't think that, we're too busy to do this. And another thing, as far as an agent and as far as a brokerage, um, we have we have learned that we can use a transaction coordinator in some. That was one thing that was really hard for me. We had an assistant who was amazing, and in hindsight, I wish we'd had hired our assistant and assistant, and we'd still have her because we sort of burn her out because there's two of us and one of her. But I had no problem handing something off to somebody in our office, but I had a problem with handing something off to somebody I couldn't see or. So me as an agent and as a firm, we are learning to utilize some things that will make our lives a little bit easier. And it does free up time to speak to clients, reach out to clients, spend some time with clients, have lunch with clients, that 30 minutes of not having to input the MLS could be spent with the client, could turn into more transactions.
So good. You and Mary split your business 50-50, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
we
that's
do.
awesome. And do you guys like set up weekly meetings? Like, how does that work with you two and dealing with different agents? Because we know, real estate agents are sometimes like herding cats and trying to get
Oh,
them
yeah.
to.
Mary Devil and I are like herding cats too because we do try to meet once a week. I mean, we live less than a quarter of a mile away from each other. We work at, we're in the same town and we don't always meet once a week. We definitely make sure that once a month gets in there. We talk a lot on the phone, but I do like sitting down and just, we used to go to lunch all the time. And we both felt like we were eating way too much. So that cut out all our meeting time. But yeah, we do try to meet. And as far as the agents go, I feel like with this number that we have now, I'm usually the one. that talks to them. If they need a quick answer, they'll call me. If they need a detailed answer, they call Mary Noble most of the time. And they definitely know if it's early in the day to call me and in the day, call her. I stop at 7 o'clock now. That's just how it is.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I think helpful for, we have agents who are in all sorts of different situations. Some are solo agents, some are part of a team, some are like you, brokers in charge. So, there's just a diversity out there in our listening audience. But I'd love to talk about kind of leadership in terms of your office and your team. Like how have you managed to keep your team and agents motivated with market shifts? And it's one thing as a solo agent to navigate those
Yeah.
shifts, and then when you've got a team of people and you want to keep the energy and the attitudes positive, and how do you sort of influence kind of the culture in your office and in your brokerage, knowing that you're probably not all like hanging out in the office very
Yeah,
often
yeah, we're
together.
not. We're not, and they've started, the ones that don't live in Black Mountain have started to come and hang out in the office a little bit more, which is great because we love that. And as we know, we're on the cool side of town, so there's people walking around all of the time. But as far as the leadership, I feel like that's one of my strengths because I came from management and just overall, I'm one of the most fair people. Like I think everybody should be treated the same kind of thing. But we keep them motivated. I think we both are in communication with them a lot. They know if they have a problem, don't try to figure it out. Just pick up the phone, give us a quick call. Usually it can be solved within 5 minutes. And it's funny because one of our agents says, if I need a 5 minute answer, I'm calling you. And I'm like, that's good because that's probably all the time that I have. But we also do a lot of things. Every January, we take our agents for a weekend to somewhere. It's been Bryson City the last couple of years, just because it's really cool out there. We all like to cold plunge in that freezing cold water. But we take them on a gold strip and we spend the whole weekend having fun, eating good. Me and Mary will usually cook for them all weekend long, eating good food, and just let them talk about their goals. And we all, even Mary Noble and I, share our goals. Last year, my goal was that they would all be top producers over me because I'm the oldest one and I'm tired. But it's good to get everybody together in one place because we're not always together, and we are a team. And I feel like sometimes, especially our South Carolina agents, they feel a little bit disconnected because they're not always involved in everything that's going on because it's farther away.
I understand that. But it's amazing what you guys are doing. I absolutely love that. Like being able to do a retreat with them is just that's super important. So tell us about what your big goals are for have you thought through like 2026 and the next 5 years?
Yes, well, I'm always thinking. Yeah, if you spend a lot of time in the car, you have a lot of time to think. That's where I
Isn't
do
that the
my
truth?
best thinking. If I can just remember what I'm thinking when I get out of the car, it's the problem. Yeah, I think that we are looking to we're trying to restructure some things in our brokerage just to make it more beneficial for us. I mean, we take care of our agents and we're really good to them. There's things we provide, but there's some things that we've learned that maybe we need to change along the way. So we have done a lot of reflecting about the last 5 years and how we want to move forward in the next 5 years. We are a small brokerage, and there's a lot of small brokerages around here that have joined bigger brokerages, and they call us all the time. And I'm like, no, we're sticking it out. I like the small, sticking it out. We're holding to it. But it's just as far as the changes in the market and how to keep them positive. My best advice to them, and most everybody has a positive outlook that works at Noble and Company. But my best advice is, don't worry about the market. Focus on your clients and focus on what you can control because the market's always going to change, and you can really always be successful in real estate if you have the right mind frame.
It's all about the
Oh,
relationships.
It
yeah.
is. It's absolutely all about the relationships. And I'm so happy to have some new relationships with y'all too. Like, you can't really, there's so many agents that it's good to have agents that, you want to work with. And, I don't
Absolutely.
know how.
We're a relationship business. We talk about that. I think a lot of terms, or a lot of times we think about that in terms of our client relationships, but our agent relationships are just as important, that helps grease the wheels and make for smooth transactions when, there's just a good rapport on all aspects of the transaction. I'm curious, Shayne, what daily practices or routines do you make use of to just help you feel grounded or just stay really steady as a person, as a leader? What would some of those things be?
Well, personally, I try to get up and get in the sauna. I have a little vibration plate, a sauna, and a cold plunge at my house. And I try to faithfully do those in the morning because I know if I don't do something first thing for myself, that I'm never going to do it. It's a proven fact. And so I try to do those three things. And the cold plunge, I know a lot of people are like, that's insane, but it makes you feel so good. And it sort of gives you, that energy that you need first thing in the morning. So my routine is to take care of myself first. And then I jump into and I do all the things as quick as I can in the morning because as the day goes on, as phone calls come in, things happen. And I still, after 7, 8 years, I like things to be the way they are. And we know that real estate is not that way. So the things that I can control in the morning before anybody gets in this office is I try to do that first. And it's funny because one of my agents, she's like, eat the frog first thing in the morning. If you've read any Mark Twain, you know what she's talking about. The tasks that you don't want to do those the first thing and get them out of the way.
There's a book called Eat That Frog. I don't know if you've heard
Yeah.
of it. Yep, it's so good.
I have
Uh,
not read that book. I need to read that book because
yes,
we
it's so good.
we live by Eat the Frog here at Noble and Company. So
I love that. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so great. Okay, Shayne, as we're wrapping up here, I'm wondering because we know and love you so much, if you'd be open to trying what we're going to call the lightning round.
oh,
So
okay,
you're going to have
sure.
to be like quick on it. Are you ready to
Okay.
try it? And
I'm
if it,
ready.
all right.
Uh,
Dream vacation.
Bali.
Oh, craziest showing story. This can take a little longer.
Oh, craziest showing story. I walked into somewhere where there was somebody in the bed under the covers, and I thought the house was empty. And so that was probably one of the freakiest things that's ever happened to me. It's in Waynesville.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay, mantra or quote that you live by?
Meant to be. If it's meant
Uh,
to be, it'll happen.
mm.
Favorite coffee order?
Oh, espresso martini, no matter what time of day.
Ooh, girl, wow. I love that. Okay, and then what does momentum in real estate look like for you or mean to you?
Momentum in real estate. That self-reflection for me, it's like I need to keep my own momentum, as having this brokerage. If I don't have my momentum, I don't how can I expect my agents to have theirs?
Okay, last question. If you could collaborate with anyone in real estate, who would it be?
Oh, you two, of course.
Ah, we
Oh,
love you.
now
Y'all are
gold
so
doesn't get the
sweet.
crown.
That's right.
Well, we certainly do look forward to collaborating with you. As we were talking about, like those agent relationships are so meaningful to us in particular. It makes the work so enjoyable, when you
It does.
have a great co-broker on the other side. We love that. And part of what we love about this podcast is the relationships that we've been able to build with agents across the country and build out our referral network. And so we love doing that here locally too. We're excited that you're in our circle. And yeah, we certainly would would love the opportunity to work with you on a transaction. So
Yeah, that'd be great. And I appreciate y'all. I feel honored to be asked to be on your podcast. So thank you.
We're so, so thankful. All right. Have a great day, Shayne. We'll see you
All
soon.
right.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Momentum in Real Estate. We hope you found valuable insights and strategies to propel your real estate journey forward.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue to deliver content that resonates with you. Remember, success in real estate is about continuous learning, growth, and serving others. Keep that momentum going and watch your business thrive.
Until next time, keep pushing forward and bringing your real estate dreams to life.
This is Cory Wall
and Kristin James signing off from Momentum in Real Estate.